When washing the whole of the object, it must be humidified first. To do this, it's recommended that 4 layers of cotton sheet, the older and softer the better, are put beneath it on the vacuum table. Both sheet and object must be humidified. One way to do this is to spray the top and bottom layers of cotton sheet with tap water, so that the sheets are moist to the touch, but with no free water about. Brush the sheets by hand to get rid of wrinkles. Place the object on top of the sheets and cover with an impermeable layer, a plastic sheet or very thin Melinex. This needs to cover the whole of the top of the machine. When placed on it, the object draws moisture from the cotton sheet. All areas of the vacuum surface surrounding the object need to be sealed. This can be done by lifting the plastic sheet on one side and sealing the vacuum surface, replacing the cover and moving on to the next side. This stops the object from drying out during the operation. It's important that the plastic strips have clean contact with the flat surround of the vacuum surface, if vacuum is not to be lost by air creeping in between them. If the object is degraded, so making it difficult to handle when wet, a sheet of thick bondina can be put under it. Ensure that the material sealing the unused areas of the vacuum surface is just over the edge of the object. When the vacuum surface is fully sealed, the plastic cover can be removed in readiness for the introduction of the vacuum. Firstly, turn off the vacuum control lever and open the vacuum level adjustment knob by turning anti-clockwise. Before turning on pump number 1, slowly turn the vacuum control lever towards the on position. The thimble in the flow meter moves up the glass tube, indicating that air is flowing through the object. If there are signs of wrinkles, the operator must brush the surface of the object by hand, from the middle towards the edges to flatten them. A piece of Melinex can be used between object and hand. Continue to turn the vacuum control lever slowly to the on position. Slowly close the vacuum control adjustment knob by turning it clockwise. This increases the vacuum. If all is well, turn on pump number 2.
Pump number 2 on.
Often water will go through parts of the paper at different speeds, but there are methods of improving its passage by adding different solutions to the water. So to identify what works best, do a test. Firstly, tap water. Observe the speed at which the water passes through the paper. Then a 50-50 mix of IMS and water. Finally, water with a few drops of synperonic A7. In this case, it's evident that the pure tap water works adequately, so there's no need for additives. So the washing process can begin. It depends on the object, but the usual way of washing is to use a hand spray of the garden variety, or the pressured dahlia spray. If extra control is required when applying water to a small area, a watercolour brush or small atomizer can be used. To prevent the water from reaching any soluble substances on the surface of the object, a mask can be used. This can be cut from the thinnest Melinex so that it covers the soluble substance plus 3 mm all round. If the vacuum isn't sufficient to hold the mask in place, other areas of the object can be sealed off, thus increasing the vacuum level. When using an atomizer, care must be taken to spray away from the mask. If free water gets to the point where the mask ends, the water will shoot under it and into the soluble substance. If the mask is so small that this cannot be done, the endangered areas can be covered by blotter while spraying. Drying needs care. Certain objects on the vacuum table can be partially dried using a hairdryer. As a general guide, the moisture in the paper should not go below that of the object when it was first humidified at the beginning of the washing process, because that would set up stresses in the paper which could be harmful. So dry it evenly until there is no danger of water within the furnish moving about when the vacuum is turned off, somewhere between moist and dry. The best advice is to dry it partially, to remove it from the table and let it air dry.